Hi, I'm Chetan. With this video, I'd like to demonstrate the UCAT mock simulator that we've created for Xamify. Now, when you want to create a UCAT exam, the first thing that you'll have to do is create a question. Over here, we can choose between any of the UCAT types of questions. For example, verbal reasoning, true, false, multiple choice. You have your situational judgment, all the different variants of questions that UCAT supports. For the demonstration, I will go with a verbal reasoning true, false question. I have a question copied here that I'm just going to paste in. But in this editor, what you'll be doing is writing up your question, and I'll show you what the preview looks like in a sec. By filling in all these details, I'll say the answer is false. I can preview what the question should look like, and it has the two-part UCAT style type look. I can go ahead and tag the question, verbal reasoning, multiple choice. Cool. I'm going to create the question. Once I create the question, it will take me to my question bank where I can see all the other types of questions that I've already created for this demonstration. Step 2 would be to create an exam. I'm going to go over here, pick a template that I've prepared, and I'm going to start putting in my questions into my respective places. For example, this decision-making question, I'll put that over here. Situational judgment, I'll put that over there. I can filter through questions. Let's say I want to look at all my situational judgment questions that I have. I'll put them all in here. I can change the order the questions appear in. And I'll just get one more quant reasoning question and I'll put that there. And I'll be happy with this exam. I'm going to preview this exam. It will have these questions in this order. Let's just call this a test exam. Make it public for all my teachers in my organization to see this exam. Give it a small description. And let's create it. Once the exam is created, this is the one that we just created here. I can preview it as a teacher. Has a bunch of slides, has all the questions that I said. This is the one that I created just then. I can see what would have happened if a student were to have done this. Let's say they were reviewing it. It would look like this. Step 3 is to allow the students to be able to do this exam that I've just created. And how I would do that is by going here to my exam settings page, and I'll create a setting. And what this is like allowing students to do exams at specific time periods. So if you have an exam prepared and you want them to do it from this day onwards or within a time frame, I would create it over here. Now I have a bit more proper type exam. I'm going to pick this one here and call this practice session C. And then let's give it a time frame of 3 hours, and let's say it starts at about in 3 minutes time. There we go. And this is scheduled. I can either send this code out to my students, or alternatively, I can go here and add all my students in this organization and allow them to be able to do this exam. Now, on a student side, what they would see is something like this. Let me just quickly go ahead and reload the page. They would see that they have an upcoming session available. Now, if they click into this, they'd be like, nope, I can't start this yet. I'm gonna have to wait for my time window to get started. I'm gonna do a quick time skip. Okay, perfect. My time window has opened up, allowing me to start the exam. By pressing on Start Exam, it's going to take me to a new tab where I can actually attempt the exam. I'm going to go ahead and skip through these first few slides. And with this one, it's a special slide where it's the verbal reasoning slide. And you can see that it has a time limit of 1:30. This time limit, you can change it by changing the exam template that we have defined previously. But by going next, we've now opened up the first section, which has a time limit of 22 minutes, similar to the actual UCAT exam. I can answer the questions by simply pressing on them. Alternatively, I can use my keyboard, for example, by hitting A, I can answer the first multiple choice question. By going C, I can answer this one. I can hit Alt-N to go to the next question, or Alt-P to go back to the previous question. I can go Alt-C to open up my calculator. Alternatively, I can go Alt-V to open up my navigator, and I can Alt-F to flag the question over here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly go through these questions and answer them. I've flagged a question. I don't want to review it, so I'm going to leave the section. Over here, we've got decision making. And then pass through. I'm going to quickly answer all these questions with yes, maybe one no. Same thing over here. Just random answers. Okay, perfect. Answer. So decision making also has different types of questions. For this one is a multiple choice question, whereas the previous one was a true false type question. Over here, I'm not saying similar type of question as before. We'll leave the section. I'm going to just go A, Alt-N, A, Alt-N, A, Alt-N. leaving the section. My last section is situational judgment. I'm going to go very important, very important. I'm going to just pick first statement and the second statement for both of these. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to end my exam. I'm going to submit that. Now, once it's submitted, I can kind of see how over here it's submitted and it's waiting for review, and I don't have my marks yet. So what a teacher would have to do on this tab over here is that it'll enable reviews. Now, by enabling reviews, what a student is able to do is that by refreshing the page, they can see the score that they ended up getting out of 2400. They got no marks for the reasoning and these current marks over here. Now, the reason it's this score right here is because it's been scaled up to the typical UCAT score. Now, obviously, if you had the correct amount of questions here, everything would work out correctly. I can go ahead and look at a detailed review where I can see exactly what questions I got wrong and why I got them wrong. So I kind of selected A for all of them, I think. Over here, the correct answer is C. It gives me the reasons to why. Similar thing over here, similar thing over here. Now, opening up the navigator, I can see what marks I got for each section and what types of marks I got. Now, over here for question 1, it seems like I got partial marks. By looking at it, yeah, I got 3 correct and 3 wrong. And what that implies is that I get half marks in this specific type of question. We'll also have partial marks over here, I think, with situational judgment, where the correct answer is B. I selected A, giving me half marks, and I can see the score breakdown as well. Now, once I'm happy with this review, I can close it, and that's it from the student side of things. From the teacher's side, they can control things like proctors. They can see which students have done the exam, how many have completed it. So over here, we've got 1 enrolled, 1 completed. And once this is over, the sitting would be done. And that's it for Xamify's UCAT simulator. Thank you.